Hey, how are you? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry, the email came through with just a code. It didn't have the link, so I just had to faff around a minute. You okay?
It didn't come with Zoom link.
I was going to send you a photo just so you know in case it does it with other people, but it didn't. You know, sometimes where you just get the web link you can click on.
Yes.
I'll send you a screenshot of it so you
Do
can see.
that because yeah, I did send you the link in that. Anyways, how are you?
Yeah, really good. Thank you. You?
Yeah, good, good, good. Had
Yeah.
a good long weekend, had a good break.
Yeah, really good actually. We're normally away, so we've not been away, which is quite unusual. We've been had some felt like we had enough holidays early on in the year, and yeah. But to be honest, just enjoying work. Happy to be at home at the moment.
Really?
Yeah, really good. I'm kind of at this phase where like work and life are mixed together. For what I do stuff in the week, I do it for what I work at weekend, work at weekend. I've just got this whole, it doesn't sound a very good balance, but I actually really like
You're
it.
enjoying it. That's what matters.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you start trying to this fragment the whole thing, saying this is work and this is my personal life, and when the division happens, then generally with division comes resistance. And when there is resistance, it's
Mm,
not easy, it's not flowing. So
yeah.
if you're flowing, you're enjoying, that's what matters. Good stuff.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. It's really good.
But you need a break, remember that. Don't just
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like on and on and on. You also need to apply a break just to be able
Yeah.
to come back refreshed.
Yeah.
Good. And how are your kids? How are they doing? How's family?
All really well, children are doing unbelievably well. You know,
Tell
say
me.
again, the school we sent them to, they're just happy, and it just shows in the results and everything. Sebastian won his sports rugby, so he won like national school final in rugby union. It's a big deal. It's a massive
And
thing.
you made a big deal out of it. I know that, which was so cool. I'm like, well done,
Yeah,
Mark.
honestly,
Celebrating. Yeah,
yeah,
well
I
done.
played rugby when I was a lad, and it was. Do you know what, Shweta? Do you know when you see a lot of sports and you see kids that are good at sport because of the level, the standard of this rugby, because it's like best schools in the country, it's just phenomenal. So I'm
Amazing.
actually really fortunate, as long as he carries on and everything and all being well, I've got a really good few years watching him at such a high level of rugby. So yeah,
Wow.
and
And so
then
this is like the top one in UK for
yeah,
yeah.
it's every school in the country. So it was quite a deal. There was some kids there, Shweta. One was like 13 years old. This one kid was like 105 kilos, strong and
Yeah,
fast.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
like for 13 years old, it was just
Incredible.
yeah, incredible. So yeah, Lucy's doing unbelievably well. What's your son called?
Say that again.
What's your son called?
Vedant.
And he's going to St Andrews. Is that decided or?
No, actually, I'll tell you about him a little later.
Okay.
First, tell me about Sebastian. So yeah, he's killing it. He's just
Yeah, yeah.
amazing. And then Lucy, what is she up to now? What is she doing?
Lucy was probably lacking direction 9 months ago. She's
So
now
Lucy's the one who was with you in the train,
yeah,
right? Who also
yeah,
came to the office. Okay,
yeah.
yeah. And what is she doing?
So she's now got more of a path. Well, she has got a pathway. She's currently studying economics and maths A level, doing really well. It's all showing in
Okay.
grades. Outside interest, bit of reading, other stuff. I give her magazines and stuff to read.
Mm-hmm.
Giving them books to read. Lucy's actually got score now. So
She's studying that. That makes sense.
yeah,
She's doing
yeah,
economics and maths. Very good. Yeah.
yeah. Then she's got a list of universities as well. So
So she will be doing her UCAS next year. Is that right? Or is it this year? So
her
she goes to college next year,
no,
Lucy.
she's first year of A levels now. So UCAS is starting in January, is it? Not
Her
January.
college. So she's not in college, right? She's still doing her A levels.
Yes, doing her A levels, yeah.
She's what? She's 17, Lucy?
Yes.
Yeah, so Vedant, he's going to be 18 in August. So
Okay.
he's in the final year of his A levels. So he's
Okay.
starting college this year in September. So Lucy will start college next year, September.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. University, not college.
University, yeah, that's what,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry.
University. She'll start her university. Yeah. Vedant will start his university this year. So she's just 1 year behind Vedant, correct?
That's exactly right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And she would be studying in UK or is she looking at other countries?
I've tried all that. I've tried USA, I've tried Madrid, I've tried other places. Lucy's a proper home bird.
Oh,
And Do
She
you know
wants to
what?
be with Daddy.
Yeah, if she chooses Manchester, that's on the list. It's
Okay.
the economics course there is fantastic, and it's a great place. It's either Manchester St Andrews or there's a couple of others. She's still floating around.
London
Look,
School of Economics. I'm hoping she's going for that. And
yeah,
then, yeah,
looking at
and
yeah,
UCL would be a
yeah,
good one.
yeah.
Bath is very good.
Do you,
Yeah.
know, do you know what I can't get my head around, Shweta? This the standard of the education now that they all need like A's and A stars. It's just so alien to me.
I'll I know, I know. I remember your journey a little bit. Yes, of course I remember. Sure, I've done it the hard way. Yeah, hopefully I will do it an easy way, but it's hard for them. Mark, so I'll give you Vedant's quick insight. So he did UCAS as in UK university and US universities as well. So he got into, Amol might have shared this with you. So St. Andrews, LSE, UCL, and Warwick. He didn't make it into Cambridge because Cambridge is very, very academic, and he was preparing all this time for US colleges or US university. And in Cambridge or Oxford, if Lucy is interested, then it's not just what they're being taught. It's like they expect them to be studying already college level stuff, university level stuff, and then kind of be there for the interview. So he got invited for the interview, but then he didn't cross that level. Anyway, so he got into 4 out of 5, which is very good. But he's keen on US, and he is, God willing, going to the US.
Yeah,
So he's got into, if you're a little familiar with it, so there are some really cool top colleges over there like Berkeley and
yeah.
UCLA and University of Chicago and all these Johns Hopkins for medical and all that bit. So he got selected in 5 like all top premium colleges. And what I mean by premium, just to give you some stats, you're good with numbers. So just imagine, just I'm rounding it off a little bit for you, but say 48,000 applications. So I'll round it off to 50,000. And there you have like 3.5% people, kids who get accepted, 3.5%. So that's 1750, right? What they do is that there's a whole process that these colleges have, especially the premium ones, that they have a process called early decision, where the child is so committed on that particular college that they apply. And if they get accepted, then they can't apply anywhere else. They have to go in that college. It's like, I'm so keen that I will not go anywhere, just take me, that kind of thing. So they fill 80% of their class just with that ED process. Okay. So left 20%. I'm just doing rough calculation. That's 350 students left out of 50,000 minus the balance. So nearly 50,000, right? 350 students out of 49,500 roughly, or 49,000. That's subpar 1%, right? It's less than 1% now. So Vedant got accepted in that regular decision, subpar 1%,
Oh my
one
God.
of those 350 students. And it's like the premium for economics
Which
and
university?
University of Chicago.
Oh,
So
wow.
it ranks, so Harvard, Stanford, University of Chicago, UPenn, these are all like number 1 in the world, like the proper rankings
Oh,
for
it's just so
economics.
cool. Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. And it's like, so he's planning to major in economics and then minor in data science. So that's the kind of combination. And then obviously you see where you want to go in terms of finance. But it's good to study, and Lucy can do her master's abroad. She doesn't need to go now. I think that also is a sensible thing to do. But Amol and I, we were talking about this and saying that UK economy and how US economy they're functioning right now, and even hearing from Dubai, like how the economy is, there's so much of tailwind, there's so much of uplift and momentum. Where
Oh,
here, you sorry?
yeah, sorry, go on.
No, and I'm just saying that UK economy, relatively speaking, we know the numbers, right? We know the how inflation is or recession is or how the growth of the economy is. It's flat. So it's tough. It's really tough for businesses who are not on top of their game. It's not easy for them right now. And for even really bright students to find good career opportunities, it's not easy. So if Lucy's studying economics and maths and she's interested in entrepreneurship, then yeah, she should be joining forces with you and what we're doing in terms of acquisitions and how do we grow this portfolio, right? That's what she's studying for.
100%. I definitely see Sebastian as having a part in that. Lucy, I'm a bit more delicate with it. I just want to see what she wants to do first. But 100%, I've got her
That's
in.
keen
Yeah,
on keen in this.
yeah. I just need to get that. So I've got some work experience at KPMG in the corporate finance team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm going to get some days in some other corporate finance teams in Manchester, and yeah, just try and inspire her. But I would really love for both the children to get involved in what I'm about to embark on, because I just see no end in sight of the opportunities, and I would love them to come work with me in 5 years, whenever that may be. And who knows, they might. I already said to Sebastian, because he speaks about me.
How old is Sebastian now?
He's 13.
He's okay. He's still young. Okay.
14 in a couple of months. But I said, you might go and work for a private equity firm or whatever else, and then come back and join the firm. Lucy, I think she likes to make her own decision a bit more. So I'm a bit more delicate with that one.
So and it's good, and we'll discuss more at the right times, when kids are at that stage. So literally, Mark, for Vedant, it's a similar thing. He wants to be not part of what we're doing, but part of private equity fund and then acquire businesses, because he sees what we're doing and he believes in that himself. So, but for that, he needs to learn the game first properly, right? Like he needs to know, or he needs to work with someone who actually knows what they're talking about here. So the whole idea again for Lucy, the journey should be that she completes her economics, great subject, economics, maths, beautiful. She works then in an investment bank, okay, which is where she does the analyst and associate job. After a couple of years, she actually does her MBA. After doing her MBA, then she gets into private equity. Private equities generally don't hire at undergrad level, because obviously it's valuation, business deals, all that stuff. So they want them to have at least got a couple of years of experience and have done their masters, so they can actually work with good PE firms. So after a couple of years of MBA, then she goes and works with a private equity fund, gets paid to get trained, and then joins the group and leads this and take it to the next level. That should be her pathway. So I've done quite a bit of research in this. Like, for Vedant also, I'm like, we propose and then God is there to dispose the plan, but we at least try, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
Stop smiling. I know what you're kind of like, yeah, grinning. I'm like, yeah.
No, I love it. It's great. It's good. Yeah, no, totally on the same page. Fantastic.
Good. And one thing while we're on Kids Matter is that make sure that Sebastian, if he's up for it, and Lucy for sure. So when we're doing certain events, like we have Growth Summit coming up on the 23rd of May. So if school allows, or if she's like free at that time, she should come for these events now, right? So gradually get her into these things.
I'm really, it's on my mind a lot about getting involved, getting to come to meetings more and stuff like that whenever I can.
She should. Absolutely. And even for board meetings, like if she's free now and you feel that she's up for it, bring her up, bring her along next week. I'm always in favor of kids learning along with their parents, and they sit in that community. They are looking at us, for example. She can only become better, right? That's the
yeah, I'll think about that. I might ask if she wants to come next week.
Yeah, because I'm assuming it's her holidays, right now.
Right, yeah, they're at school next
bring
week.
her along if she's up for it. One of the clients, I literally started personally working with 17-year-old son of his called Charlie, and he's getting married, so 10-11 years now. So we're still working together. So now I'm working with Charlie and not so much with his father, and he's 27, 28 and getting married in July. So yeah, it's the whole journey, and you see how they have evolved, and now he's buying businesses. It's all acquisition for them, and they're just growing the kind of the core that they have, and the way he thinks, the way he goes about the whole thing. I'm like, wow, this is life skill you want your kids to have. Yeah, please, anytime, just message me or whatever. Let me know, and I'll be more than happy to have Lucy and Sebastian with us.
I'll speak tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, do that. Shweta has personally invited you.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So moving on to business side of things. So since we have completed our calendar first quarter, I just wanted to check. I'll come to acquisition in a minute, but let's just talk about the core business, if that's cool. So give me a quick executive summary. How have the numbers been? What was the target? What's the actual?
Best year-end numbers ever. We've done 2.2 net.
What were the targets?
Don't know what the target was, to be honest. It's not good, is it? On that 2.2, we're probably going to do about another 800 R&D tax credit. That was 7% net, 2.2, which is good for us. Sales targets. So sales.
No,
No.
we don't. I'll push you on this now today because I've got you. So you're like, shit. Where are you, Amol?
No, come on, let's do it.
Okay, no, I expect better from you. I don't need to know what we've done. That's cool. Of course, you're doing good numbers. You have like good profitability and everything against the target, right? That's what I want to know. What's the variation, positive or negative? If there is any variation, positive or negative, what are the reasons for that? And then what's our game plan for the new financial year that you have just gone into now, right? So it's April to March, I'm assuming. Remind me.
I'll tell you, our year ends December. So I'll tell you
Why
what.
are you saying year end? Then I don't need to know year end. I'm saying quarter one of this year.
Okay, so our sales targets are cumulative for the year. And at the last meeting, I'll tell you what it was for each business now. So
So do you have quarter one numbers, January, February, March? Do you have like targets and actuals for them?
we do everything cumulative. So we have a gross profit target for the year. We have an overhead target for the year.
Okay.
A, B, and C, gross profit, overhead, net profit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So key integrated services.
You can bring it up on screen if you wish. I've given you access.
This is just a little sheet that I use just to keep a tab on the businesses for myself.
And this target setting happened at the start of the year.
Yeah, so we'll set the business, typically a 3-year business plan. So key integrated services, their combined gross profit target is 112%. This was about 3 weeks ago. I got my last update on this. We're due another board meeting next week. Key integrated services electrical, their combined target is 74%. That's where they're at. Now, for me, this early on in the year, I just know all I need to know is they're at 74% already, and I know there's other work coming in.
Mm-hmm. So sorry, you're saying they're already at 74% of their target.
Yeah.
Okay, and the target for the year is 1.75 million GP.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Key integrated, the first business was 112%. Yeah. Second business is 74.
And this is for the entire year. So for example, key integrated services is 2.65.
Yes.
And we have achieved already 2.3 plus 626.
Yes. And Sweater, I cannot tell you the amount of other projects I just hear in the office. We are going to knock it out at effing Park.
So hold on. So tell me, who has done your forecast?
So these are done by each individual leader, and they present.
So bear with me. So aggregate number is 17 plus 9, which is what, 20, sorry, 17 plus 9, right? Yeah, which is 26 plus 8, which is 34. Just move on this side, please. So I've seen Northwest, and then what's on this side? 34 plus 3. Okay. So what's your total number?
For what turnover?
For the year, yeah, for the year, what's your total target?
Gross profit or turnover?
No, but what's the number? What's the sales number? Is it like 30 million, 40 million, 60 million? How much is it?
I'll give you gross profit first. Right, I've got it.
Yeah, so I'm getting 37. Yeah, that's the number I got there. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Okay, 37. Just bear with me. So your department heads are giving you the forecast. Okay, go back to the dashboard that you were showing me. Tell me, what's the problem with this? Think as like, you're looking at the numbers just the way I'm looking at them. What's the problem?
There's other stuff behind this. This is just my little summary what I keep a personal tab of.
As in, what do you mean?
There's like full details, like breakdowns of each
No,
job.
I don't need full details. This is good. This is good enough for you. You don't need to open the hood and start looking at all the things. What's the problem with it?
You don't know, go and tell me.
No, think. I want you to think. So, key integrated services. Imagine you're presenting to your chairwoman right now, and you're
Yeah.
saying, "Yep, we had a target of 2.65 for the entire year. We have already done 112 in the first 3 months.
Mm.
Across all the departments, you're saying we are like way ahead, like 92%, 74%.
Yeah.
I'll be like, what
Targets
the
aren't big
fuck,
enough.
Mark? Who the
Yeah.
fuck did the
Oh,
projection?
Sweater,
What were they smoking?
we got one inquiry in yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
15 million pounds for a factory in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
They can't go anywhere else to get it delivered. I can tell you scores and scores of jobs that are not even on these figures yet. If I show you these figures next week, it's just going to be fucking ridiculous.
Okay,
But
so I'm going to give you a management principle, and this is a really important one, really
yeah,
important one. Okay. Uh, so what market likes, when I'm saying market, as in what shareholders like and what you should like as the boss of these people, is predictable performance. Yeah. So consistent and predictable performance. So consistent, obviously, you understand, right? Year on year, we want to be growing consistently, which is amazing. And consistency doesn't mean slow growth. It could be very aggressive growth, but consistently growing. And every good business should have predictability in it. Okay.
yeah.
Predictability is the key thing. Now, if I don't know if you paid attention in the beginning when I said variation, is there a negative variation or is there a positive variation? And if there is a variation, then why is there this variation, which we didn't foresee? Your role is not to poo-poo an amazing performance. It's outstanding, great. But I personally think there's fundamentally something wrong with all the departments where they are forecasting so poorly. Because variation, what I'm willing to accept is 10% negative or positive. That's my range, Mark. If my team does well, I'm like, guys, what did you not foresee? What went wrong here? And they might say, oh no, boss, but look, last year we did 27 and we built in 10 million growth on top of that. That's amazing. And that's exactly why, Mark, what you're doing here, which is the aggregate, the composite or the combined performance, right? Which is what you said, that I take the full year and then we're just tracking and I can see, okay, fine, we're at 40% of the time and we are already at 140%. Great, good stuff. I'm very comfortable. That's why quarter on quarter targeting actually makes sense. Because what happens is in the first quarter, now, if I'm seeing this is the trend, I'll be like, guys, hold on, we need to correct here. We need to correct our forecast. Okay, so what should be our target now for quarter two, quarter three, quarter four? Because we need to deliver close to what we are forecasting. That's what good leaders do. They foresee and they're able to predict, and their predictions are good. 10% variation. This is mental. I'm sorry, but this is actually mental. So my guys could be under pitching, and then you're feeling very happy, saying, wow, look, everybody's performing so well. But I don't know if they're actually building stretch in it or not. And now we have been doing this for a while. So it's like, I know amazing projects are coming. You told me this last year also.
Yeah, we are.
But I know the trend.
Yeah, things are changing and moving fast. You know, we
But
did.
if you're growing at like 50%, 60%, 100%, for example, like show me your growth rate. Can I have a look at your growth rate, please? Go back. What you showed me here year on year. Yeah, what's the growth rate? So growth rate, look at that. So 8%, you've predicted here 37%. Do you know the previous year? That was flat, 25 to 27. So the question is, on what basis you've built in 37%? What's giving you that 37% growth, which obviously you're smashing right now?
We've revised the business plans for each business,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really quite easy to implement this because the opportunity facing us from customers growing order values, we will achieve that growth.
So Mark, I love you and I love your business. Okay, trust me. I'm just saying, because you always say this, right? That it's like should I go and do my MBA? This is MBA. This is MBA where you ask better questions, and I'm giving you some MBA principles. Good leaders predict well. Okay, I'm not asking them to hold back growth and not deliver high growth. I'm saying they predict well. 10% variation is what we are seeking. The second thing is when you're looking at these growth for each department, you should be able to identify if I'm looking at my top line growth, is it all of a sudden am I getting better inquiries because we're doing something amazing, outreach or incoming marketing? Is my order value going up? Is my conversion getting better? Your each department, that's it. These are the three things, right? My leads, I convert those leads, and what is the order value? And then there are some amazing clients where we know get a lot of projects from them because they are growing and they are giving us a lot of projects. So which are those key accounts which are delivering some amazing projects with us?
We're moving our sales process over to Monday. Do you know Monday, the software where you
I
build?
know Monday. Yeah.
We're moving over to Monday, so I'll feed that back in.
That's fine. That's not what's leading growth. That's to manage the growth, right? To have
Yeah.
visibility. But levers, which are the levers? What is shifting in the department that each one of your team heads should be presenting in their quarter updates to you, saying, boss, these are the number of leads we got. We converted so many. This was the average order value compared to our last year average order value. Our order value in first quarter are actually higher by so much. Our leads are up by so much.
But we say, like, if you were selling a product and you had a product range and prices were similar, with us where projects are cyclical, and we could pick up 10 million quid in the first quarter, but then would you still apply that same method?
Yeah, I would, because you've not all of a sudden picked up 10 million, right? There was a pipeline that was building up. So which was in the last quarter. So which is why I'm requesting you to do more quarterly, because your business is ramping up quite well. So it can't be working on a full year forecast. The faster the business is growing, you need more touch points. You need more corrections. You need more contact points. So you need to have quarterly rhythms, actually monthly, but let's say quarterly rhythms. So you've broken your year down into 4 times. And then every time you finish that one chunk, you readjust, saying, guys, what's the forecast for our next quarter? They'll say, boss, this is the size of the pipeline. Our conversions are looking strong. Our average order value or deal value is so much. So then you're like, okay, so what are we looking at landing in this quarter? Oh, you know what? We're predicting this much. All right. Are you sure about this? Yeah, great. Let's measure that.
Okay, so say, like, I know Key Integrated Services going on some sales figures today. I've not had it presented to me yet. They're looking at about 20 million for this year already, right? Now I know we've got 37% growth there. Coupling it up with a buy and build, which we're on with, and we've got a couple more leaders starting for new entities. I do have a bit of part of me that, doing 100% growth in a business, been there before. That's a lot of people in and out the door. It's a lot of, I do want to manage my risk a little bit as well.
So what does that mean?
It means that if you're suggesting to increase your sales targets and do a hell of a lot more, I just need okay.
Hear me carefully, Mark. I'm not asking you to increase or decrease anything. I'm asking your guys to give you the right forecast, which they deliver within 10% range, negative or positive. Because then I don't want you to be impressed like this. Oh my God, they're like 114% already in the first quarter. I'm like, no, they didn't forecast properly, because you should have known that this is going to happen. So quarter two, now, obviously, whatever they will do, you'll be like, oh my God, we've already smashed our numbers, Shweta. 5th month, we've done it. I'm like, okay, okay, that's amazing. But it could just be that they gave you a very low forecast, wherein our pipeline was much bigger, or we're doing a really cracking job. And why that becomes important, exactly what you said, Mark. If they're not forecasting carefully, and carefully as in they know that we are going to be securing so much work in this quarter, how are they then doing resource planning? Which is what you're saying, right? People churning the door, rotating, all that stuff. How are they then doing resource planning? If I don't even know in my next 3 months, I'm predicting so much based on my pipeline, based on my conversion, based on my order value, are we fully resourced?
I can demonstrate that. I could get someone come in now and run us through that.
I'm sure they can. I'm raising something because that would be if I was sitting in your chair, I would be raising that first point with my team, having my quarterly review and saying, guys, what did we not see at the start of the year that we are doing so well? So what needs to now happen in quarter two? Give me the number.
It was the same conversation yesterday about the FD was going through some sales forecasts, and that's what stemmed from resource.
Okay.
So what was the sales target for the next quarter?
So I just want to know, I just want to know in Q2, what is each of your department going to do? They don't
Well,
need to increase or decrease anything. It could be just for the plan.
okay, so
What are they going to land is my question. Based on the pipeline, based on their numbers.
do you want me to run you through each business?
I don't need to know right now. I'm asking you to know that because that's predictability. And then your team is
Okay.
accountable because right now there is no pressure. Boss, the jobs are flying in.
No, don't
We are
really,
flooded,
don't really,
boss.
don't really agree with that. I feel like getting Paul, one of the directors, in there now to say, is he under any pressure for sales?
Is he
So,
is he a man? Is Paul Paul is the one who does maintenance, right? That's he's
yeah,
yeah.
should we get him in now? Go
Why are you
on.
putting him in this on the spot? Like he doesn't
Well,
know me.
I feel he's my best answer if you put him on the spot now. Oh, yeah. Paul, I'm gonna put him on the spot in there. This is the ex-global head of marketing for Unilever, so you better be sharp.
No pressure then. Right, okay.
So
Okay.
please ask open and honest questions because we're currently reviewing our sales process. So this could drag out some good issues.
Do you want to stop the share so I can say hi to Paul?
Yeah. Were you walking out the door, by the way?
Evidently it was. Afternoon, how are you?
Hi,
You well?
Paul. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Well, I was doing very well. I'm on the in terms of a response now. Yeah.
Don't worry. Don't worry. You'll do very well still. Yeah. No, but you're keeping well?
All good. Yes.
You guys are smashing your numbers, aren't you?
I'm sure we are in parts. Yeah, we're doing okay. Yeah.
Cool. Good stuff. So I'll not take too much of your time, Paul. Actually, it was a very simple discussion with is he smiling? Is he sitting there and grinning?
Yeah, he's enjoying every minute of this.
He's
Yeah.
enjoying. So what I was doing with Mark right now is I was just having a look at our first quarter, how the performance has been, because obviously it's a quarter rhythm. So you finish first quarter, then you look at the next quarter and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So I understand that in the business right now, we do aggregate target setting, like for the full year, and then we just kind of see where we are, 3 months done, 4 months done,
Yeah,
how
against
the business
plan.
is
Yeah.
performing, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, what I found little surprising and interesting was that quite a few of our departments are already more than 50%, so like 74%, 114% of the overall year's number just in the first 3 months, right? So when I'm obviously looking at that, one of the key principles which exists in any good business is sound predictability. And that's what department heads, business heads, they're supposed to be doing, where they're predicting so well that the number delivery is actually within maximum, like within 10% range, negative or positive, right?
Yeah,
So
okay.
variation either ways is not a good idea, because what it's telling me is that we didn't see something that we should have seen in advance. So, which is one principle. And that was the question I was asking Mark, saying, look, there is a great positive variation, but it's still a variation, a huge variation. And we need to slow down here a little bit, in the sense, not growth wise, but sit down together as senior team and really understand, saying, what did we not foresee or forecast? And why is this variation happening? Doesn't mean we increase or decrease our targets, right? That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing, Paul, that I would suggest, and really just again, a simple way to look at things, especially with a very fast growing entity and with a very dynamic team. If it was steady, eddy, stable business, it's fine, doesn't matter, because pretty much month on month, it will do 12, 13%, right? But if it's a fast growing, and especially when flow is really good, we should be having quarterly rhythms. So yes, we kind of have a target for the year, like 37 million is what we've said for the business. But fine, based on our pipeline last year, and we kind of predict what's Q1. If we are doing really good Q1, and if it's better than expected, then at the end of Q1, we kind of say, okay, fine, what's there for now our Q2, Q3, Q4 forecast, which means our goalposts are moving, right? 37 might become 42 million. That's okay. But at least we are having a foresight, at least for 3 months, especially with dynamically moving business.
I was going to say, typically in my previous role, we would look no more than 3 to 6 months out.
Absolutely fine, because it's so like rapidly, the things are shifting. And I would suggest we get into that rhythm. But when we are forecasting for our 3 months, look, that work has happened in the previous 3 months with our pipeline, generally speaking, right? With our order value sizes or the opportunities, conversion rates, all that bit. So we can predict how this quarter is going to be. And therefore, are we okay with resources? Are we okay with people who we need, on site? So I want to see going forward, just aligning you with what I was discussing with Mark, is that going forward, if you say, Shweta, target for Q2 is X, we want to be delivering X plus 9%, maybe, kind of thing, right? Because we were very accurate. It might be more, that's fine. We'll again go back and readjust. But yeah, our predictions, our forecast, we need to be good in that, strong in that. And we're doing amazing, by the way. Don't get me wrong here, Mark. You guys are doing outstandingly well. But I don't know, because the forecast is not strong.
We're going to use Monday. Using some.
I believe so, yeah. So I think, obviously within Key, there's obviously two facets to the business. There's projects.
Yes.
So that can probably move up and down depending on when an order's secured and when it starts.
Of course.
Maintenance perspective, we know pretty much it's a sort of set revenue for each month and each quarter. And then obviously the bit, then you can then see how it grows.
Exactly.
From that,
Yeah.
because it's 112.
Recurring.
It's
Yeah,
recurring.
it's recurring. Exactly. And that's good, Paul, even for projects. So what I suggest to clients is, you're right. Invoicing will depend on the phase of the project, right? When we're on site, what's happening. And once we secure, we can kind of predict, saying, okay, this is how the invoicing would be. But in a quarter, from, say, the heads of that section, they should be predicting how much value or how many projects we're going to be securing, of what value, right? Then how the invoicing happens, that's kind of like finance team, and the team can sit together and they can predict. But how much we will be securing should be a good, strong forecast. And you're right, it should be on a rhythm of 3 months, especially 3 to 6 months max.
Yeah.
And reviewing carefully every
Yeah.
3 months, Mark.
We'll have a session with Manish.
Oh, he's already lined something up. Yeah. So yeah. So we're just finalising the master contracts file now, and then the second part of that then is we'll sit down and look at the sales pipeline and the renewals program.
Okay.
So it's already in hand. Yeah. Okay.
Cool, super. Thanks, Paul.
Good.
Just wanted to align you with this. Good to
No
see
problem at all.
I
Thank
thought
you.
were gonna ask him more difficult questions on his numbers and stuff. I thought you were going to try and catch him out in something.
Stop that. I'll do that with you.
I'm not going to do it.
Good evening, bye.
Thanks, Paul. You get the point, right? Yeah. So can you look? What I'm really saying, Mark, is it's going well. It could be more, it could be less. I don't know.
Our sales process is shit. We have got it leaves so much to be desired. It just lacks so much strategy. We are so passive. We have projects coming to us, but we just.
What do you see? How do you analyze it? So I thought, like, you have your board meeting next week. Do you guys have some kind of template where each department tells you, we got so many inquiries, we converted so much, this is the size of our pipeline, this is our average value of opportunity?
It's pretty much done up 2 tabs. You've got the secured projects, and we have a list of all the possibles and probables. So it's built up of the 2, and then we weight them. It's no more detailed than that.
Yeah, okay, fine. So maybe this is the discussion today then, and where you go back, the fundamentals. I know you know the fundamentals because you've talked about this in board meetings. There are 3 things: leads, conversions, average pound value. That's it. That's what is giving us our top line. So you need to just think through, or maybe ask your team to say, or FD, saying, I want our executive team to present with certain slides, which are kind of standardized, but we are able to, that's when you open the hood and you're going and looking at it slightly at a deeper level. Because it could be that in one department you realize, Mark, and so think about it, right? One department you might realize everything that they're getting, they're converting. And whatever we are getting is primarily from our existing clients, right? And decent project values, existing clients, we're converting. Great, good stuff. The issue is we're not really getting new client leads, right? New leads. For example, you might say, okay, for this department, this is the focus. The other department you might realize, like maintenance, you're saying, and maintenance again, do we get new maintenance contracts, or is it more where we have done projects and then they put us also on maintenance contracts? How does it work?
So typically we have a little bit of an issue in that we do pick up contracts from the maintenance contracts from the project side, but they tend to be smaller local businesses, Joe and Seth's Popcorn, you know, Welsh Sausage Company or something. When we're working for the likes of Alpro and Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
they tend to do more national type agreements.
Right.
We're not punching in some of them arenas yet.
Right. So,
So-
which is the thing, right? So when you
Mhm.
start analyze, so how would you analyze your contracts, maintenance contracts? Let's peel the layer. Imagine I'm your head of that part of the business, like Paul, right? So he's heading maintenance. So it's Paul. How would you peel the layers? What questions would you ask?
About the size of the contract, length of the contract, margin.
So if you're talking about January, February, March, you're analyzing the last quarter, right? So ask me the question. So you're saying, okay, Shweta or Paul, tell me what? Give me the questions.
So what renewals have you got?
So what renewals have I got for what? For
So
January, February, March?
yeah, so contracts coming to an end. What do you need
Perfect.
to, yeah.
Oh, okay. So for this quarter, you're saying quarter two, you're saying what, how many contracts are up for renewal, right? What's the
Yeah,
value?
I want to know if, you know, we always have churn in this business. You don't renew everything. So you want to measure that, say, you know, you want a high 80% renewal rate or something.
Okay.
And then you have obviously new contracts.
For this quarter, you want to know how many new contracts we want to secure, right?
Yeah. In
Okay.
terms of value.
The value, yeah. Number and value, yeah.
You know, I feel a bit exposed here because I'm not doing anything like this.
Yeah, you should.
No, it's
You don't
crazy.
have to.
It's
Imagine,
crazy.
imagine. These are standard slides, standard templates. Every quarter, you sit in your board meeting, these guys, they present, and you're reviewing, and it's going red, amber, green, whatever it is. You're like, yep, well done on this, well done on this, well done on this. Okay, good stuff. Overall, good performance. Any questions? No, I'm good. Super. Move on to the next one.
I do get a set of slides off Paul as an example there, but I kind of just it's not in this format.
You get the are you getting okay? I'll give you the questions.
I'm not sure I am. I'm not sure I am what.
All right, I'll ask you. You're Paul. Do a role play with me, okay? So
Yeah.
I'm analyzing quarter one, not quarter two. I'm analyzing quarter one. So my first thing would be I'll say, all right. So Mark, aka Paul. So Mark, what was your overall target for maintenance revenue? Do you know the numbers? Doesn't matter. Let's play with the numbers.
million.
Give me a million.
Yeah.
Tell me what was the breakdown of the continuing contracts, the existing contracts and the new contracts? How much was that? How did you build it? Out of 1 million, how much was
800 and 200.
All right, super. So could you give me a sense? How much have we done against our continuing contracts, existing contracts, or what? 800, have we met the number there?
It's an 8% target, so yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so what attrition, was your attrition as per your expectation? Was there any attrition?
80% is a fair figure.
Okay, so we did 800K for our existing contracts, right?
Yeah.
On 200K, how much have we done?
How much have we done?
Yeah, your target was 200 and 800, adding up to 1 million. So how much
Yeah,
did you do in new
we've
contracts?
secured a further £200,000 worth of contracts in the quarter.
So you've smashed the number. You're bang on target against 1
Yeah, we're
million,
on target.
and 1 million.
Yeah.
If that was the case, beautiful, and I would still dig deeper. But in your case, that's not what's happening. They're telling you 1 million and they're doing around 1.5 million, right? Yeah. So then, so imagine that's the situation. So you'll say, boss, yeah, I did 800K on my existing contracts, and then I did 700K on my new contracts. You're like, okay, 700K. All right, that's interesting. So your target was 200 and you did 700K. So give me a sense, like what led to this kind of a growth? Like you did 3.5 times more. So what was different? Like, was it inquiries or you got some big contract? Because that could be the only reason, right? So give me a sense. How many inquiries did you get in the last quarter? So play with numbers. Give me your inquiries.
15.
15. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you got 15 inquiries. How many did we convert? Like 700K is coming from how many contracts?
8. They just keep making stuff up.
Okay, so you did 100K worth value, like every contract on an average was worth 100K.
Yeah.
Okay, and what was the average last year? How do we generally trend? What is the average order value?
Why is trend important?
Trend last year is important because there is a variation. If I'm doing something well, I want it to be
Surely
embedded.
your measure is against the business plan, not last year's trend.
No, 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 no. So hold on. If business plan is 1 million, how come I'm doing 1.5 million? So okay, go to business plan. So as per the business plan, what was the predicted average order value?
The mentality of that is then is you basically after a growth target each year based on the percentage.
No, Mark, no. No, you're misunderstanding. So do you understand the concept of leading indicator and lagging indicator?
No.
Take a guess.
Leading indicator and like
Yeah.
Go on, don't play games with me. Just spell it out. Come on.
I'm not playing games. Why are you coming under stress? You're under pressure.
No, just tell me. I want you to educate me quicker.
Think. So number of leads. Okay, I'll give you a guess. Number of leads in the business.
Yeah.
For maintenance contracts and actually securing maintenance contracts. Which leads what? What comes first?
The lead of the inquiries.
That's leading indicator. Lagging indicator is your sales, your GP. That's called lagging indicator because it's the outcome. It's the result. Now, what I'm trying to do as a business owner or leader, I'm saying, I have got amazing lagging indicators. I've smashed the outcomes. Many people stop at that and they say, yeah, well done. If your son is winning rugby match on match, you're not just going to say, hey, son, high five, well done. You've won so many matches. What are you going to ask him?
You need to keep training, mate, because you could get kicked off this team. You need to keep going.
That's fair. Okay. You will ask, what did you do well? What technique did you use? Okay. Yeah. What technique did you use? What was the tactic? Okay. How was your fitness?
Yeah. Do you feel you played your best or whatever?
Techniques. So that's leading indicator. If he's in a good physical form, if he's using the right technique, he will hopefully have the right outcome, which is the lagging indicator. As business owner, you're saying, I'm having amazing outcome, lagging indicator. What's leading indicator doing? What is leading that outcome? If you don't know what's working well in the business, how will you replicate that success? I'm not trying to slow down the growth. I'm not trying to do nitpicking or I'm not trying to find the problems. I'm actually saying you're succeeding.
Like yeah.
You're succeeding. You're bloody smashing. You're kind of like out of the gates. I love that. But let's not stop there. Tell me what is helping us get this success. Where did you do better? Boss, I secured many contracts. Okay, great. That's a lagging indicator.
Could go down into an individual, it could go down to a market sector. You want to know the data, don't you?
What I'm trying to explain, you don't need to know this, but you need to ask the right questions to make your people think like that, saying, great outcome. Tell me why, what helped us achieve that? What are the leading indicators? Now they might say, we have hired a new sales guy. He's completely brilliant. Like he's just closing every deal, or he has got his book with him and he's giving us all these contracts. Okay, that's the thing. So my next year strategy or next quarter strategies, can I poach some other high performers from some other companies who bring their book with them and then we're just getting maintenance contracts? I'm trying to replicate success. But if I'm not asking meaningful, deeper questions and my people are not able to know which leading indicators are working or not working, I'm just like, yay, well done. But I could be doing better. You could be doing, I don't know, 43, 45 million. I don't know, Mark. And even if this is a great performance, which it is, you need to know the design. It's not by chance, it's by design. And that's the design you're trying to figure out. So you can replicate that design. Do you get it?
Yeah, I get it. You're tuning me into the chain of thought now. Yeah.
You should be curious enough to know, which you are. And don't worry, you don't have to know any details.
It's really on point. It's really good timing because we are reviewing we're so passive with our sales. Literally, work comes to us and we're getting steady growth. It's like, why? It's not good enough.
They don't need to go and get more business from there. I'm not asking them to go and get more. I'm just saying, know why you're doing so well.
For me, then, if I've got this knowledge, it becomes a strategy play because exactly like you say, if I know we're strong in these sectors, I might see it might highlight me to a gap in the market. I might think exactly like you said, I want someone else to come and join and grow that division because I can couple that. If we're successful in sales one area, I can then couple that up with margins and profitability and
Exactly
make
that.
strategic decisions based on that.
Exactly that. Exactly that. So you're happy with, I'm saying you're great, 2.2 million profit, amazing, good stuff. I don't know, that could be 4 million. I don't know. Maybe because of the margins or because of more growth, you could be doing better on. So I'm saying it's all going fine. At least know what's the design. Even if people are not looking at it in retrospect, they can figure out, right?
It's really on point what you're pointing out to me here. But I booked Breakthrough Imperative the other week. You know, profit pools. We don't really know what our real profitable pockets are in the business. We don't. There's loads of businesses similar to us with higher margins than us, and something's not right. We're like a 7%, 8% net business. There's loads out there which are 10% more. Why are we not doing this?
Okay. So first, and I absolutely, that's what we're talking about, right? The marginal gains, the substantial gains, and when it all comes together, it's so bloody awesome. It's big. So Mark, in terms of action points, okay. So look, I know a little bit about your journey. I know what you're trying to build. I also know there is this, you operate from the place of fear. If I'm not on top of it, if I'm not controlling, then is it really manageable growth? Yeah, I get it. Okay. What we tell our kids, if you don't work hard, you'll get kicked. If I don't work hard, Shweta, I need to go and do some MBA. No. Let's keep it simple. You're doing MBA now. Okay. Sitting in a classroom doesn't help. You can do that later on. But first, let's focus on this simple thing. You have your board meeting next week, you said, correct? Ask simple questions. Take onion, start peeling layers. You simply want to tell your team, saying, hey team, Q1, we're going to be reviewing January, February, March. Please go back to your business plans. Pro rata, you know where we should have been. You know where we are at the end of March month. For majority of for all the departments, there's a huge positive variation, right? Which is great, congratulations. But I would like to know, how did that happen? Okay. So can you please review your numbers? And per the plan, where did we get some improvements, some strong improvements, right? Why we're doing it? So we can embed it in our business and replicate that success for future quarters and systemize it. That's what you're doing. So now they will present. So imagine Paul. So he'll present, this was our business plan, 3 months. This is how much we have actually achieved. We did really well in this one. Why? Because we got these many inquiries, really big opportunities. We actually ended up converting, and that's why we did our numbers. That's it. You're like, okay, I get it.
Why? What is that? Where have them inquiries come from? Why? You know, you want to know
Exactly,
more.
right? Oh, they were primarily from our existing clients because they were opening up their operations in other geographies. Oh, that's really interesting. Good stuff. Okay, so that's cool. So it was not by design, it happened. So, but can it give you any trigger, any idea, as in what could we be doing? So then you don't have to think for yourself. You could be like, huh, that's interesting, Paul. So did it trigger any thoughts for you, like going forward for the next quarters? No, boss. I mean, yeah, there are some clients who are opening some other operations. We know about that. So we're already in touch with their people or whatever, right? I'm like, okay, good stuff. So you're on top of the game. Yeah, I'm on top of the game. I know what it is. All right. So what's our Q2 number? Looking at the pipeline, looking at our maintenance, existing and the new pipeline. What are you predicting right now, Paul? No, looking at how the trend is, I'm predicting this number. Now, business plan is already out of the window because you guys have smashed that, right? So now he's just talking about April, May, June. You're like, great, good stuff. Let's go for it. And you know the split, maintenance, existing. We have that. And so if someone says existing, I want to be securing 500,000, just as an example, you know, we can, if he knows, we convert 1/3 of our inquiries. So straight away you're saying, okay, what's the size of the pipeline right now from the previous months? He says, yeah, my pipeline size is around 2 million. You're like, okay, that's good. And what's our conversion generally, Paul? He's like, oh, our conversion is around like 1/3. Okay, so we should be doing around 600, 700,000, right? He'll be like, yeah, we should be doing that much. Okay, good stuff. You're just making sure he is thinking. He's thinking about these things. Otherwise, everybody is just right now, the flow is so good that everybody's swimming and saying, yeah, this is amazing. But we want to make sure that that flow is maintained for the future. We can keep that performance because we know why that's happening. Even if we have not planned it thoroughly, at least we stop and look back and say, This is how it happened. I get it. Ah, okay. This is what we can do better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, can you send me this recording after this as well? I'm going to go through with my.
I will send you this recording. I'll send you this recording. Do not have any pressure on yourself to be like, oh my God, I need to ask some really clever questions. No, you just want to peel the layer. You start from the top performance and you say, tell me a little bit more about this. How did we get this? Okay, tell me a little bit more about this. So till the time you come to a point where you can't break it further. If you say, okay, leads, we've got quite a few of leads. Okay, great. Where did we get these leads from primarily? Existing clients or new? Oh, we got it from new clients. Which channel got us leads? Oh, our website got us a lot of leads. Actually, I don't know, Mark. Worth having a look, Paul. Just check where are you getting these leads from for new clients. You get it? Like you're satisfied. You're like, okay, I get it. But because you've asked good questions, not to prove anything, to genuinely know, it's making Paul think. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. And then you're asking Paul, so Paul, what are you thinking? What's the plan for Q2? Got it? Just relax. It's just being curious about your own business to know where are the results coming from. I'll send you the recording, not today, because the team will put it on YouTube and they'll send it to you tomorrow.
Really intuitive to delve into that because it's a really on-point subject for us.
It is the right timing, and that's why I wanted to jump on a call with you today, because I know you're doing some amazing work on acquisition front. So I've seen your tracker that you sent to me, and I could have gone into that. But remember, you already have a big entity that you're managing.
This was scrappy this today, honestly. The 3 strands to grow the group, growing the existing businesses, mighty model, new leaders joining. I'm on with that. I've got some potential winners to come and join us. And acquisition. I just need to wait for the right business and swing. That's all I need.
I saw that. There's a good pipeline. There's a good momentum happening.
Yeah,
now we just need to make sure it's moving. And I know there's one good, opportunity you're working on. So it will automatically move forward.
It'll just happen. I just need to work. I just need to follow the process.
But Mark, both the things, right? Core is there. So growing, and there's a lot of opportunity from how I'm sensing, like 27, 37. Can I make it 50 million like next year? Like what's stopping us? It's already there. So you don't have to do the work. But these are the forums where you make your team sharper, better, ask them deeper questions, and not just be like, well done, guys, great, good stuff. Because then everybody is like, yeah, Mark is happy, we're all happy. And your drive will always be different. Always.
They are feeling the drive at the moment. There's a ton of energy around the place.
Good. And the team is good from what you've told me, right? Ian, Paul, these are like solid players.
Yeah. I've got so much more growth for these guys. I can literally plug new businesses in underneath them. They're nowhere near their full potential yet.
Cool. I don't know why you don't get these guys for these forums or meetings. You should. Anyways, you first do your board meeting, because I like what I saw in Paul. He's a solid player. I've not seen Ian, but yeah, it's a good team. So together, it just becomes easier for you because they understand where are you coming from.
Get them down to the meetings and whatnot.
100%. These are your Ian, and I don't know about Ian. Paul surely looks like a pro, like good player, good guy.
Paul's probably most corporate. You didn't see anything of him yet, but he's probably the most corporate guy. I get a lot out of Paul. He was like FTSE 250 company and this kind of stuff. So
that's it. That he himself is saying that our planning should be 3 months, 6 months, not year, and then we are like smashing it 114% in the first 25% of the time. It's like what? Which means we're not realizing the full potential of the business. I would want to be at a place where we're doing 101% of our target, which means we've really thought it through and we've mapped it out in a proper way. And now we're maxing it out, right? Which is where you want to make your team work like full. I mean, think about it. You're trying to acquire 7-8 million size or 15 million size business. And I'm saying just by pushing our team a little harder, it's like worth one acquisition or one mid-size acquisition, right?
This is where we had some almost a bit of clarity the other week about our, we're leaving so much money on the table, the existing businesses, just concentrating on the buy and build and stuff. It's not right. We need to get more.
It's not either or, Mark. So you have to remember your KPI as Mark, as head of the business, is pipeline, acquisition, and doing the deal. That remains your KPI. You're not going away from that.
No.
But along with that, where I want you to become even better is using the platforms, which is your quarterly meetings, your monthly updates, just these platforms, which is 4 times in a year, which is quarter. If you do rigorous quarterly meetings, more than sufficient.
We are changing our monthly board meeting has become a management meeting. Our board meetings are going quarterly, and they're going to be, a good half a day at least, something like that.
That's it. That's what's required. So monthly updates and your quarterly meetings. You don't need to get more involved because you've got your team who's doing it, but you need to lead those meetings properly with good questions. And remember this mantra, variation either ways means we didn't see something that we should have seen.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the
yeah.
job of the leader is to foresee.
We have that attitude with projects in that if we just put a load more money down on a project, that's bad forecasting. We don't have that train of thought with our overall sales target for some reason.
Bring it in. Bring it in. Paul gets it. You get it. Your FD gets it. You just have to say, guys, come on, we need to do that kind of forecast. Show me quarter by quarter forecast and just focus on Q2 forecast.
Yeah.
Just focus on Q2 forecast. Don't worry about anything else. Just Q2 forecast.
Okay, I'll get this recording, Willa.
Cool. And I'll see you next week.
We're looking forward to seeing you next week. Thank you as always.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye, Mark.